Hello, hello. There we go. Alright. Welcome in, and to whoever was here last time, perhaps, welcome back to some more Factorio. I know it's been a while, but figured I'd jump back into it. Try to make a habit out of things, even though that takes a whole bloody ever. With firing up a little bit of the Factorio 10x Science Cost Challenge run from, what's it, a couple of weeks now? Maybe a bit more. Anyway. But yeah, I think I'm just going to jump right back into it. If my memory serves, last time we had gotten to the point of setting up green science somewhat reliably. And we had done some exploration in the near vicinity, and finally we had gotten our steel up and running. And I think the next task on the agenda after that was dealing with some biters and then getting bricks and eventually concrete up and running. But the interesting part then is going to be, what do we prioritize? I'm noticing the chat is like invisible if it's on the black part of the map. That's not good. I'll figure that out later. Anyway, we have some biters here that we are going to have to deal with. The pollution is definitely going to be reaching those if we don't take some kind of action there somewhat soon. Aside from that, though, we're not too hard pressed. Like, obviously, there's the potential of biters expanding towards us, but we aren't very, very heavily surrounded. Luckily, the trees in this area are eating up a lot of the pollution, so they are not like a massive concern. But still, we want to be careful. All right. We don't have a ton of stone like right here immediately, but we're not going to need that much right away either. But I still think I want to get a small furnace stack going specifically for stone. So let's see. What else were we planning? Right, to deal with the biters, we had gotten unlocked the first military, I believe, so we have access to grenades. Am I blind? Yes, military 2. So we have grenades, we have red ammo, so we can make that if we need to. And we were researching some explosives in order to deal with those. I think we are going to have to get rid of these before we can start heavy expanding and going towards blue science or chemical science, because the pollution is going to jump up quite a bit from that. So with that in mind, we can probably handcraft the grenades we need initially. We've got a good amount of electric mining drills, so that should be fine to set up for that. And also looking at the resources we have here, we are already pushing as much as we can effectively out of the iron. Copper's fine still, we don't really need that much until we start going into the higher tiers of science. Aside from that though, we are going to need more iron soon. Well, luckily, there's a good chunk here. Anyway, let's get on that handcrafting. Gonna need more iron, that's fine. And there'll be a good amount of grenades. And I think, right, yeah, I was also going to get a car, which means we are going to need to make some engine unit production. I think I'm going to make it sort of cheap and simple initially, just because we're going to need some larger scale engine unit production regardless later in order to be able to make blue science. So for that, we want some more assembly machines. We'll make those first, and then we can make the grenades. Let's see if I remember the recipe off the top of my head. Not exactly. So this is going to need gears, pipes, and steel. We'll do it simple. One, two, three, yeah. Do gears and pipes. I think this will work fine. Yeah, no, this should definitely work fine. Engine units there. And yeah, we do have the underground belts necessary. Just need some power. There. That should be more than enough. Speaking of power, damn, we hit low power again. That's less than ideal. So we're going to have to add on some more boilers here. Let's see. Grab another 2 plus steam engines. Cut that again. I cannot wait to eventually get access to the construction boss. That is going to be so nice to have. Let's see. Power. Make sure everything's connected. And there we go. Should help hold us over for a bit more. But that is increasing our pollution, so makes it even more important that we deal with this as soon as possible. I'm starting to stack up a good amount of grenades. See how our research is doing. Automation. And right, yeah, railways. Obviously we are on a rail world, so the plan is to use a lot of railways. I think after that I'm going to queue up fluid handling. Yeah, fluid handling is locked behind automation. And then with fluid handling done, I'm wondering if I want to get a level of research speed in before we do oil gathering. We'll see. Oh yeah, these were just the dump chests with belts in them, which we don't need because we have the surplus storage here as well. Yeah. What's the second thing I think of? Right, yeah, I need to collect some fish so that I actually have a way to bloody heal myself when going to deal with the biters. It's probably a good idea to put those down there. I'm not sure how safe to eat these fish are, considering the color of this lake. But, we'll make do. We'll make do. or something. Yeah, well, will not do. Oh, right, yeah, there's a little uranium patch here as well. You know, I'm going to use that patch, probably not just for the mining. It's like, yeah, it has a surprising amount in it. But it's going to make it very easy to unlock uranium mining so that I can start researching nuclear power, because what was it I checked last time? I think it was something like 10,000, no, 8,000 to unlock nuclear power, which 8,000 chemical science is quite a bit. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. But yeah, I have the fish. Let's see. I probably want to have some repair packs, since I'm going to be making a car. Speaking of, I can go pick up the engine units. I'm going to make 2 so that I have a backup car. Just in case. You never know. You never know. We have a good amount of shotgun shells. I might want to have some more regular firearm magazines. Thinking about it. Also, don't really have the best fuel yet. Like, I can run these on coal, but I don't really have access to better fuel for a while. Scoop some off here. Well, actually, it's not a while. Chemical isn't that far away, but I'll get it soon. Alright. I think this is going to be enough to deal with this first camp here, but for these bigger ones, like these 2 and these down here, I have a feeling I'm going to need rocketry, which means I am going to need to go to chemical science and unlock and start making explosives before I can deal with those properly. So let's see how this is. Yeah, this is definitely an expansion nest. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind. There are medium biters here, which I'm very worried about. I actually should have made some red ammo, but we'll see how well this does. So okay, I'm gonna need either red ammo, or I'm gonna have to do... I'm gonna try the drive-by strategy, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna try the drive-by. Careful! Okay, so that's like most of my grenades. Let's see. Turret. Yeah. That's not good. Okay, so that's the mess gone. No. Okay. That was closer than it should have been. I definitely am going to need heavier firepower for the next ones. Alright. Yeah. So that's a concern. That is a definite concern. Right, just let me get this car up here and park somewhere. I'm not going to say I'm the best at the combat in this game, but that was hairier than it should have been. Yikes. Whew, okay. So that's one biter camp dealt with, though we are going to have to be on the lookout for other ones expanding into our pollution cloud. We are going to need bricks, both for the steel furnaces, which I believe we have researched. Have we not? Maybe we haven't. Let me see. Am I stupid? Don't answer that. We have not. We probably should, because they also require stone bricks. And we are going to need them. Alright, well, in that case, let's start with stone. And the bricks. Let's see. We want to try and fit in the stone mining out, scooping up a bunch of coal, because mixed belt is a nightmare to deal with. That should work. Yeah. That should definitely work. This will be enough to catch the outer part here. I just want to make sure I mine off the pieces on the end here. That drill is probably going to be removed quite quickly. It's not ideal. I can't really move that one step up either. What if I do this? It still lets me do drill here, drill here. That does cover those pieces. I mean, that'll just, yeah. Yeah, that should work. Okay, we have belts of stone that are going to be coming in this way. I think it's fine to bring it up to about here, alongside the coal. The thing I gotta think about is, am I fine to put it next to the steel stack here, or do I need room for a second steel stack? I think I might want to leave room for a second stack of steel production, because otherwise I risk running into problems of, yeah, organizing things. So yeah, collect these. If anything, I can burn it for fuel or something. But I don't think I'm at risk of running out. But yeah, so if I take this entire section here, do that, and then I'll do a second one. because that's going to be for the potential steel expansion. And then this next one, which I'm going to have to reorganize, is going to be for the stone. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. So that's just for the steel. That's going to be the stone, and this is going to be the coal. I'm low on splitters and underground belts, so I should make more of those. Yeah, should go pick up the rest of the belts. I think I did research red belts. Did I make or use any yet? No. I think I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit, just because of the resource drain that's going to be to do it. I'll do that alongside upgrading the... That's why I was taking so much damage, I don't have fucking armor. I think I'm going to do it alongside upgrading the furnaces as well. So we'll have the necessary steel for that, it's just taking the time to do it. A couple is fine. Pick up some steel, and then I should be able to get that armor. Yeah, heavy armor. Does that actually increase my carrying capacity? It does not. It's the later ones that do, like modular armor. Anyway, let's see. We are going to have the coal come in here for these two. And then set up the undergrounds as planned. And then we're going to need a set of undergrounds here as well. I could make red undergrounds, technically. Yeah, that's going to be a lot cleaner, I think. Definitely a lot cleaner. There we go. That way we're going to get the stone in here. Using the red undergrounds, you have the increased range, not for the belt speed, but just to be able to actually like pack them up cleanly. Now for the stick itself, I obviously don't need this full lane length to make stone bricks. Like, that is a ridiculous amount. I can do just a full stack. And it's actually fine to have it a little bit lower down, since the steel lane is taking a bit more space. So I think if I do from here, I'll take this, that should overlap cleanly onto here. As long as I move out of the way. Just gonna have to remove this tree. And there, that looks fine. What stone do I have on me? Enough to make enough stone furnaces. Good. And yeah, let's just fill in this blueprint. Actually, there is one thing I want to change about this, because did I get access to the new power poles yet? I did not. Damn it. Do I want to prioritize that? I'll be fine with these for now, but it's not ideal. I definitely do want to get working on that quite soon. Guess I don't have to use all these wooden power poles. I'll probably make that swap on these when I also do the swap on the actual furnaces themselves. Because then I'm probably also going to be swapping the inserters. Oop. What? Ah, fuck. There we go. Get one row. And the other row. And I'm going to have 2 left over with that. What was that sound I heard? I heard a sound that sounds like a biter. Okay, now I'm concerned. Where the fuck did that come from? Oh well, we'll see. See how it goes. Oh, damn, I missed the power poles on that side. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll just have to deal with that. Really want construction bots. I think once I have chemical up and running, I'm going to rush construction bots before I start working on nuclear. Just because I want to be able to actually fucking work in a sensible way. Oh. Here we go. Get all of these in place. And then power. Need the double up here, do I? Let's see. Yeah, no, this is full enough. Yep. That part's a little excessive, but let's see there. Alright, so now we just need to hook up power to the stone. And we'll have a good source of bricks coming in. But we are also going to need just straight up stone to make rails. So I think I am going to put an extra set here. Just make a line straight up for the stone itself. Because that is also going to be needed for rails. And when we do eventually make a second stack for steel, then it's just going to feed into the same one because the throughput, like this is less than a full belt of steel, so the throughput is way lower. And then we have bricks here. Excellent. Excellent. We just have bricks and regular stone, which I'm going to need for some things. Hooking up power here should be quick and easy. Yeah, it overlaps well enough that I can cover most of it, or cover all of it quite easily. Let's make sure we grab the last one. There we go. I guess I'm going to scoop up some of the ones that have been completely expended as well. I think once this patch is like drained out completely or mostly, I'm probably going to put down some drills to mine out the last remaining pieces and just feed it as just sort feed it and priority feed it into the main bus, even though the main bus is going to then be fed mostly with pollution coming, with pollution I say, with materials coming via trains. Like, we actually have a shit ton of copper nearby. And this iron, the 70mm patch is... I think this patch will probably last us until we have iron coming in from off-world. Oh, not iron coming in from off-world, but foundries and better drills. We definitely have enough copper. This uranium, I think, is going to be fine as well. Yeah. And once we have oil up and running, then, especially if you have nuclear power, we should be fine on coal as well. Alright. So we've got stone coming in now. Yes. Which means we're going to have bricks, and with that we are going to have access to advanced materials processing, as well as military science. I think actually I want to get military science up and running now that I have access to it. We have bricks so we can make walls. We have coal and grenades. Right, we are actually going to need a line for coal to get up air as well. So probably should take that into account here. Probably a good idea. Just hope I'm not going to eat through too much of it. I'll certainly eat through belts. Let's take that entire box. So we've got coal coming in. So I guess then, yeah, I could do military science up here. Clear out some space like this. That should be fine. What the fuck was the production of military science, or the ratios rather? So 0.05 on grenades and red ammo, and 0.01 on walls. Now what were the ratios on the intermediaries? The walls, I believe, have a pretty high... Yeah, that's 1 per second. So one assembly machine for walls is enough to feed 10 on that. What's the red ammo like? That's 0.16. which roughly equates to one of these can feed 3 of these. Is it the same on grenades? Oh no, it's basically 1-to-1 on the grenades. It's slightly higher, but it just means, if it's slightly higher, it just means I can store the overflow, which I think is fine. Question then is, do we make the full 20 stack or do we just make a 10 stack? I don't think we have enough stone to do a full 20 stack. I think we're going to run out of stone if we do that. So I think it's going to be a 10 stack for now. So 5 of those. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they can quite easily be on the same line here. Because we are going to want to feed them just right above and then make a second line there. We're going to have to make some long-handed inserters for that. So with that in mind, we are then also going to need 10 of these. That's fine. The fun part then is, how do we feed the other products in here? I think it's time for some long-handed inserters. Yeah, it's time for some long-handed inserters. So we need one machine making walls. So if we can get the materials for the grenades in the center here, then we can get the grenade output here. And then we could potentially feed in I need more of these as well. Let's grab some more gear wheels. We've got a ton of them, so why not? Some iron plates. I have an idea. I don't know how good it is, but it is an idea. I should have made more room here. There's still enough to I can make room. Let's see. Should have at least 2 spacing in between, because then I can actually line it off to the side. Yeah, if I can get coal and iron in here. Get coal and iron in there. That should feed the materials for those just fine. going to get grenades on the outside of these belts. I think I want to do the merge earlier. Something like this. Because I want to get the walls on the inside here. Is that going to work then? Or is it better to get them on the inside up here? Also, I kind of want this. There we go. It bothers me when it's so cramped up. Get the bricks up here, then they can come in to the walls. This is outputting a wall per second in volume. This would work if we do. Hold on, let me cook. If we do this, then it can feed onto the side here, as well as it doesn't need an underground there, as well as onto the side here. And that way we're going to have walls and grenades, and then we just need the red ammo, which is going to come on the outside. And for red we're going to need 4, I think. 4 machines making it. I think I want to try and get those 4 set up. One, two, three. Set those up like this. Now I'm going to need regular ammo as an intermediary. What was the ratio there? Two of them were enough, weren't they? 0.5, 0.16. Two of them is one is just shy of being enough, but it's not enough. It's 4 of them, so we're gonna need two. Two of these. And they're going to need iron in. They're going to be getting iron and copper on, ammo and copper on this line. They're also going to need to be getting steel. Now, steel I can side feed more easily if I move it just a little bit further up. I can then do steel side feeding like this. Keep underground here. And then output here. Face the right bloody way. There you go. And that gives red ammo output. That doesn't need to be like that because the output is these. That gives us red ammo, which we then want to have come on the outside here so that we can feed it in with long-handed inserters. Actually, that saves me. Saves me on the splitter. Like this. That's output. And then we have inputs all the way over here. And output. This is getting somewhere. This military science build might actually genuinely work. I say it might actually genuinely work. It is going to work. It's just whether or not it's good is another matter entirely. I want to have the sort of concept done before I start placing properly. Just see that everything lines up well enough. See, that's input. That's output. Then it needs input here and here, as well as here and here. Right, so let's see. What do we need here? We need iron, which can come here. We need coal. We need stone bricks. We need a half belt of copper. We need another iron. And we need steel. I think those should all be fine and easy to hook up. Yeah. Just want to like have all the lines drawn up like that. Yeah, no, this will work. This will work. How many assembly machines? It's 10, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27. I'll just make all of them. Oh, dang. I actually finished all the research I queued up. Okay. Oh, fuck it, let's get the power poles. Because then I can actually use the power poles to power all of this. Which would be quite convenient. There's a lot of funky placements here, I'm realizing. Well, if it ain't broke... Yeah, if it ain't broke. Stone. Get these lines in place. Underground's up and running. That's good. Splitters. Oh, let's... Do I need more splits? No, I'm good. Did I? Oh, right, I can make assembly machine 2s now. I made more of them than I thought I could. Hell yeah. That's going to actually make this a lot better. Although that's... You know what? Fuck it. I hadn't thought about that, but you know what? Fuck it. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, fuck, I should probably pick up circuits so I don't have to fucking handcraft circuits. Anyway, if I place a tier 2 assembler on these, do they still retain the... Okay, they still retain the recipe, that's good. That is good. Yep. Okay. need more of these blue inserters as well. Just scavenge symbol gears and regular inserters. One thing I've forgotten to make overflow. Should probably take the overflow into account somewhere. That would be a good idea. I'm not going to be able to take the overflow from the grenades as easily now, am I? I'd have to make it on the sides. Ah, that's annoying. Whatever. We are getting ever closer. We just need all of our inserters in place. And then once electric distribution is done, I'm going to be making the new juicy power poles. I guess while that's fixing or being fully researched, I can actually take the time to look at overflow solutions. It should definitely be possible, it's just, yeah, less than ideal, I'm realizing. Alright, all the inserters are in place. Let's do overflow management. So, overflow on the red ammo is easiest to pull here. So I do priority output left. That means I can collect the overflow. I should make some of these steel boxes. So I can collect overflow here. Nice. So that'll be red ammo overflow, and grenade overflow is kind of iffy to try and collect right now. The easiest way would probably be to nab it off before it gets the other materials fed on. This is going to be jank as hell. Does this weaving work? No, it does not. It really doesn't. I can move the whole damn thing one tile down. That should actually fix it. Oh, give me then enough room at least. Wait, no, this was material in. This is material out. Gonna add on an extra here, and that means I can now do overflow here. Priority output left, priority output right. This is not clean, but fuck it. It'll have to do. This isn't clean in the slightest. Okay. Then I just need to hook up the inputs. So this was steel and coal. Oh, iron and coal. So the iron we're just gonna feed in here. And the coal is going to be here. Get the splitter. Hook that up. Next up is the stone bricks. I believe we are going to be feeding from here to here. Keep clicking E when I want to rotate, but it's the wrong game. So we're going to get the bricks. Then we need the copper, which is going to be coming in on the side here. And then there was iron and steel on the last two. I keep hearing those like sounds that remind me of gliders, and I want to know where the fuck. That's an expansion, right? Yeah. This is an expansion. Concern. Also, after electricity, or electric energy distribution, as it's called, we are going to hook up oil gathering. I think we want fluid wagons. 2,000 just for fluid wagons, it's insane. And we're also going to need concrete. Is there anything else that's going to take a priority before that? Once we have military science, what actually do we unlock with military? Because rocketry is going to need... Look, we get stronger explosives. I might have gone for military science too early, because there aren't that many things other than damage upgrades. Oh well, the overflow is at least going to be useful for other things, so it's not like a disaster, because I'm going to need the red ammo and the grenades in order to deal with things. So it's not a complete waste, at least. That's the iron, and then steel. I can do this. And now I can make medium electric poles. I'm going to make as many as I can. Right a frickin' way. I think that is all of them. Yeah, damn, I need more electric poles. That doesn't cover fully. Ah, shit. Ah, inefficient power pole usage. Yeah, I need to have built them differently to not have that amount of usage. Oh well. And I need more. That's just iron. Oh shit, item ingredients. It's struggling to feed it enough? God damn. I guess I'll do this. That should help. Yeah, 7.5 a second is a lot. Oh. Damn it! Oh, fucking idiot. God, I'm an idiot. Nope. That's also wrong. That. That'll work. Now let's see. Ah, of course our electricity's struggling now. Oh, it's struggling on coal? Oh, a little bit. It shouldn't be. That should be enough to saturate fully. Yeah, I guess they just need to fill up, because that should be... Oh wait, no, yeah, it is actually not enough, because these are 30 per second, which means it's... No, these are 15 per second. So yeah, we're going to need red belts there. Well, let's make a batch. We can handcraft a batch and then just do this section specifically. Because there should be enough, the coal feeding in should be enough. Assuming I don't run out somewhere. That should be able to feed enough. But I'm going to have to go do something about the power. I'm going to get an actual problem with having enough coal, aren't I? Yeah. Oh boy. Not looking forward to that. That stabilized. Barely. I have a feeling that if I start consuming military science, then it's going to start struggling. Yeah, power is definitely something we're going to have to worry about. Because right now our power is extremely pollution heavy, and we are still quite a ways away from nuclear. We're definitely going to have to clear out mess, and we're going to have to use oil for power, otherwise our little coal patch is going to be insufficient. I guess we're fully utilizing it. It's possible to add on a bit more. I might want to do that at some point. I definitely want to do that, looking at it right now, because this is starving. Oh boy. Let's see. Really don't want to do next belt bullshit. Do the red splitter here, and then we do a bunch more red belts. Just to get the throughput we need. I'm gonna have to do more of the red splitters too then. Okay, hold on. We don't handcraft fucking electronic circuits. We have piles for that. There we go. So we can make like 5 of those, and then make a bunch of fast transport belts. So pick up some more gears as well. There we go. I keep hearing those like scritchy sounds in the background, but I don't know where they're coming from. I'll admit that I'm a little scared. I really don't want to deal with the fucking bonanza fighters out of fucking nowhere. Okay, so let's make sure that we're at least fixing these things so that they're not limiting throughput. Okay, that's good. And then of course the belts themselves. Should definitely help a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Definitely better. Though they are struggling still. Closest coal we have is all the way up there. That's definitely in, like, frickin' train range. Genuinely might be easier if we get solid fuel up and running for the power, so that this isn't eating coal. Like, that alone might be enough to secure things. We haven't reached overflow in either of these yet, but we will eventually. Yeah, we'll get there. These are at least working at full output. Yeah. Ah, yeah, tier 2, it is actually an exact 1 covers 3. Having it hooked up, which means hooking it up is going to make the overflow take longer. Oh boy. Let's see. I can make pump jacks now, though. That's good. How many are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 drill heads. Guess that's exactly enough. So yeah, now here it's not a throughput issue anymore. It's a resource input issue. So yeah, I think we need to prioritize that oil. I do want to get some big electric poles. This is close enough that I am tempted to pipe it instead of running trains for it. Mainly it's because I don't have the infrastructure to get the trains up yet. So it'll have to do for now. Once I get train networks set up later, I might change the setup and change it over to a train station. But for now, I think piping it is the safer option. The train infrastructure is going to be expensive to get up and running. Should get us the electric poles we need in order to get power out there. I haven't hooked up the military science, but I might want to hook it up to get that explosive damage, because if I can get the grenade overflows to start stacking up, then that'll definitely help me, and I can also get at least a level of damage research from military science. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, oil wells. These aren't actually that far out. This is reasonably close. So let's start placing these in such a way where it's going to be easier to get all the pipes hooked up. Of course I didn't actually bring any fucking pipes, because I'm an idiot. Try to do this. Do I have enough for the pipes then? I have enough to make pipes internally here, but that's about it. Okay. So, power. That should cover these. Let's see. Get the big power poles. That one is going to connect those. Smaller ones inside here. That'll make sure that at least this entire thing is in a grid. As for the pipes, we are are going to need some underground pipes, more than likely. So I'm going to have to go back and get more. But hey, I can hook up the electric poles in the meantime. It's going to be a lot cleaner once I start getting the train grid up and running, because then I'll also have... The train grid will also have the big electric poles to run power distribution. I'm going to make sure that this isn't like connected to just a single power pole, like stupidly. Connect it over here as well. Okay, so we've got oil processing, which means we can start researching plastics, sulfur. Sulfur, I feel like we need to rush explosives, gotta be honest. Yeah, we're gonna have to rush explosives. Without explosives, it's gonna be such a nightmare to deal with any of the nests. Oh, gonna need a ton of these. Probably going to need to get a bunch of pumps as well. I just make a priority input dump for the stone, because I have a ton of it saved up in my inventory that I really don't need to be carrying around. It'll help clean out some space and help me get rid of, dump off materials that I don't need to be carrying around. Let's see. I can probably do it all the way back here. I'm using way less stone than I thought. I guess that's probably because this is backed up on the walls. Yeah, and that way it's just going into storage. But hey, look! The actual materials are backing up because we're not using military science yet. That's good. Let's see. Coal one, I think I'm going to use. This is going to be like a reverse of the material dumps that I've used. Though I don't have enough inserters. Yeah, it's fine. Priority input. Right, so we'll use from this here first. priority amp out. Oh yeah, I can. Nice. And I'll just copy the same formula and mirror it here for the stone. That was probably fine with a regular splitter here. There we go. That's a good place to dump off materials. I can probably dump off some iron here. Okay. So I've got a decent amount of underground pipes. I'm going to need fluid pumps as well. Thankfully we do have a storage for engineers. That should help getting that up and running. We might need the pumps in order to have the actual line of fluid get down here to the right spot. Now where do we want to do chemical processing? I can do it here since we do have all the necessary materials all the way up. Like we have the coal and everything piped up here, which we're going to need for plastic. And it would be the most convenient when it comes to getting red circuits set up eventually as well, because we're going to need to do those feeding the green circuits into it. This is getting alarmingly close. Pondering if I need to take some of that stockpiled heavy munitions, these grenades and ammunition to go deal with that. I really don't like how close some of this is getting. I'm going to try a little military excursion again, see how it goes. It's time to give it a go. How's our research queue? Quite heavy. Finish that up later. Need to see how bad it is up here. Try with a small nest first and see how that goes. It's definitely an expansion nest. Actually, I don't have a single shooting speed upgrade, it's all weird, all EP. The red armor at least helped a lot when it comes to dealing with the medium biters, making it, like, realistically possible to break through. But it is still pretty dicey. Yeah, like, this one is going to... If I start pumping oil seriously, this one is going to become a problem. So I'm going to have to start working on it. It's somewhere. What I really want is a tank with explosive shells, but that is still a good ways away. Grenades is honestly the best tool I have access to right now. I need a tank with explosive shells, as well as a rocket launcher, also ideally with explosives. That would definitely let me clear out these a lot easier. I'm trying to focus on getting enough damage on the nests themselves, as well as all the fucking worms. Let's see. Like, if I had a tank, I could almost run through this. Oh, God. My car! Car's almost gone after that one. That was close. Let's see. What's the hour like on the car? It's being drained a little bit. But it's working, so that's fine. That was a distraction maneuver. Very good distraction maneuver. Oh! No, I could have gone back. Got down cliffs. There's no more worms, so that's giving me a lot more free rein to put in work here. Whew. Okay. So we got that one. That's more breathing room. And we burnt through about 150 grenades. To be expected, honestly. Alright. One nuisance down. Damn, we're not even 60% through on the weapon shooting speed upgrade in that time. I was worrying about, like, oh yeah, I left the base without hooking up the military science because I queued up something that needs it, but nah, we're not even going to be fucking close to using it by that time. You're right. See how things are back at home. We did get to make a bunch of pipes, and we have some pumps, so it should be possible to start hooking things up. I am going to hook up the military science, just so I don't forget it, though. Even though that's going to mean it's going to take a bit longer for the stockpile to fill up, but that is fine. So we're also probably going to be feeding the blue science in on this. So I'm going to be making this with the expectation that there's going to be another science category coming in here once we get blue science, chemical science as it's called. And then I can do this. Does mean that I'm going to need to have at least another power pole here on the side. Alright. Let's grab some more from the stockpile. I'm trying really hard to decide if I should go for the oil and start building that immediately, or if I need to clear out more biters first. That is... No, that's a nest. Okay, let me grab my shit. That is a nest. I can see it. That is an oh fuck. Get my grenades. You can see, like, there's the splotch here inside the pollution that keeps eating pollution. That is 9 times out of 10. That is a nest, especially at that rate. That is definitely an expanded nest. Which means it's time to go deal with it before it tries to deal with us. So, let's bring some high explosive diplomacy. Nope. That was a rock. Okay. Yep. Pretty small one. It should be quick. Medium worm though, that is... Uh-oh. At least the expansions themselves aren't, like, massive. I think the expansion timer, if I remember what the settings were, is anywhere between, I think it's like minimum 5 minutes, maximum 50 between expansions. And this expansion is quite recent. So it means that we likely have a little bit of a buffer before the next expansion shows up. And I can see that there's another expansion that's happened inside this range. I'm glad I caught this one before it started sending raids at us, though. I'm kind of glad that I caught that in time. Otherwise it would have been an unpleasant surprise. But yeah, I should probably get rid of the other expansion nest here as well. Maybe just to limit the space that they have covered and make it sort of more likely that the next expansion is going to be outside my pollution cloud. Ow. Yeah, that little pause there was not really good. All these nests are tanky. Even with red ammo, they're taking a while. At least I got the shooting speed upgrade now. Should help on the vehicle as well. I need a little bit of repair before cleaning that up. Here we go. Let's finish the job. I want to leave it unfinished since the nests do regenerate health over time. Yep. There we go. Don't think I've brought the firepower with me to clear out these two right away though. That would be a bit of a heavier task. But since I'm here, I can take the time to do a little bit of additional exploration. So I did bring a car after all. Oh, there's another expansion. Fuck it, why not? No worms, it's actually quite easy to clear it out. As long as I don't run into something. Blessed be the holy hand grenades. Ah. And moving on. Yeah, this is the stuff that I wanted to explore because I wanted to find out what this outside here. This is a full-on goddamn jungle. It feels like it. See, that is a slightly smaller nest. Oof. Goddamn trees, out of my way. The main thing is I want to find out where my ocean borders are, which turns out one of them is here. Let me through! There we go. Okay. Out of the way, trees. I'm driving here. Okay, so island border... Oh, ocean border is all the way up here on the side. So those two nests are also going to be critical to clear out. I wonder if there is anything out here on the coast. Okay, that is a nest. That is going to have to be dealt with. As is that. The big question is there a path out here or is it a cutoff? If it's a cutoff, then dealing with these nests is going to be massively important in being able to lock down the area before going off-world. So I still don't know if it's going to be possible to do it, but what I want to do before going off-planet and heading to probably Vulcanus first, I want to try and lock down as much as possible of the factory so that I can have defined attack points to defend against the biters. And it looks like this is a fucking winner. Huh. That is... I'm loving this map generation. Alright, so we've cleared out that. That means we have more than 50% of the circumference, so to speak, of the base is going to be covered by actual natural borders. So it's basically, it's going to be this and these choke points on the side here, and then it's going to be however much we need to cover in the south. So figuring out that southern border is going to be the next exploration stage. let's head back. I think we are about at the point of starting to figure out petroleum processing. Let's see. It would be nice to have it closer to where the power production is. Though I guess, since we are going to need to pipe water over for it anyway, we could, in theory, do a new power stack where the petroleum processing is done. I don't know, maybe. Well, either way, we're going to need to make a bunch of oil refineries now. Thankfully, we have bricks. I want to get a good amount initially, so I think we're going to actually go with 6 full refineries immediately. What am I missing here? Alright, pipes. I just want to get the factory buildings themselves made. Oh, so I would love to upgrade to red belts, but I really don't think that I have the room for all the iron for it. Red belts are so material hungry. I'm gonna do it when I get bots, just because the replacement is gonna be easier that way. Alright, while these are handcrafting, I'm going to start with the oil piping. Want to do it over here? That's tough to decide. Like, I usually like to have it in kind of like its own place. Now, you know what? Fuck it. I am going to place it over here since I've kind of been building in that direction, and that's where I have all the materials there, and that's where I'm going to want to have the materials later on. So we're just going to have to be clever about how we run the oil pipe over there, as well as the water pipe. And we're going to need pumps, of which I made a decent amount, so that's all good. I need to have some regular pipes in my inventory as well. Okay. Let's see, underground pipes. Yes. All the pipes hooked up. Thinking. This will be a good point to do the first turn. So we're going to have to make at least one pump array along the way, I think. Do we go down and through it, or do we go along the top side? Along the top side is much easier. Yeah, along the top side is going to be 100 times easier. Is it giving me the distance on it? 133 meters. This has to be getting close to the limit, right? Wow. Huh. Didn't think I'd make it this far. Although I want to have it one step further to the side. Let's do it here. Let's do the pump array here. We'll do triple pumps. Go. 1, 2, 3. That's powered. And we've got our oil. Nice. Yeah, let's get some storage tanks up and running as well. I think I want to have a good buffer. Buffer is important, especially since I'm probably going to be bringing in more using trains. I can probably run the water up quite close to this as well. Let's see if I can grab a couple of offshore pumps. It should be relatively easy. I kind of want to run it up and then alongside it, just for prettiness sake. Yeah. Do a double pump here. Max range. That'll do fine. Oh, nice corner. And they're nicely lined up. And there we go. Alright, so raw oil storage should be should probably do something like this, just to get it set up nicely. Yeah, no, I will do it like that. There. Oh yeah, no, that's plenty of distance. I am actually going to make a water tank as well, just for the visibility of it. Nice. Okay, start clearing out some space. And let's go start setting up oil refineries. I don't think I'm going to hook up all of them immediately, mainly because might not, hopefully we're not going to need as much right away in terms of throughput. But I'll set the recipes anyway in case, just in case. As for the classic lineup, I will be using it, because fuck doing anything else with goddamn oil. I am not... Yeah, I'm using the full rig immediately. To quote a certain Doshington, if you see me set up oil without it being set up for advanced refining right away, an imposter is taken over. I'm gonna need to make more underground pipes, just pipes in general. Yeah. Alright. Give me iron. Lots of it. Yeah, research is chugging along nicely there. Getting those weapon upgrades is going to be really useful. But after that, I definitely think we're going to need plastic and sulfur, because I want those goddamn explosives. If I remember correctly, the advanced oil recipe takes water as well. Let me see. What is the damn research? Am I blind? I might be. Let's see, chemical science. Advanced oil processing. Yes, that does take water. And then for the cracking, also takes water. So that is going to be needed eventually. Well, it looks like we're doing fine for now. Like, I think we're not really in like a ton of trouble quite yet, just because we have the amount of safety zone that we do have. So it's more of like a slow creeping thing that we're going to have to deal with the fact that there will eventually just be more and more of these bastards coming in. Like, I think the biggest challenge is definitely going to be to secure the base itself before we go off-world. Because I have no idea how the south looks in terms of potential borders and choke points. I'm just going to hook that up directly. So I want to have this like in place and done, so I don't have to think about it when I get the upgrades. Because it's so important. So that's going to be petroleum gas. See, how long have I been live now? About 2 hours. Damn. That's quite a while. I'm thinking I might want to start calling it because I'm getting a little hungry. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, no, that's a good amount of progress. We've gotten a lot of the exploration done. We've cleared out some of the more important nests and identified which ones are going to be problematic. We've gotten brick production up and running. We've chugged through a fair amount of science. We've gotten oil connected. And we've started processing petroleum gas. So next up on the block is going to be, once we've researched plastics and sulfur, we're going to be getting advanced circuits so that we can work our way towards chemical science. And I think while we're working on once chemical science is done and we can start working on some of those things, they are going to take a ton of time to research. We are also then going to be working our way towards explosives, specifically rocketry, and then eventually explosive rocketry when the blue science is up and running, which is what we are going to need in order to deal with these goddamn nests. And I think once that has been somewhat secured, then comes the big slog of researching nuclear power. Where is it? Uranium mining, uranium processing. No, not that. There, nuclear power. That is going to take a while, and we are probably at that point also going to have to start setting up mines at some of these locations here in order to be able to feed the factory. Especially iron is going to become a problem. Like, I think it's approaching the point of being a problem already. We've got 650k left here. That is going to run out. But yeah, it's a good amount of progress. I'm quite happy with it. And I'm going to save this 10x challenge here. And that is it for today. to whoever's been here in the background, to whoever comes here and watches the VOD, to whoever decides to show up next time. I don't know. Thank you for watching, and peace out.